Welcome to another episode of Rebel Rogue, where today I will be showing you how to layer and reset base coats. Rebel Rogue. Layering is a simple process of taking a colour and applying it on top of another colour, leaving the other colour showing in the deepest recesses. Resetting the base coat is essentially taking the base coat colour you used after you've used a wash on it and just applying it to all the areas except for the recesses. I will be showing you mainly resetting the base coat in this video, though if I get a chance I will be showing you layering. Layering is exactly the same, but it can be done on top of the base coat, it can be done on top of a base coat that's been shaded, it can be done on top of a reset base coat. So it's a very versatile thing. For this cloak I'm going to be using the heavy red I used in a previous video when I showed you how to base coat. I'll be using the same colour to reset the base coat as it is, of course, the base coat. I will be using the same Boldmere size 5 brush. I think it's got a decent tip and should be able to do this work, but I would recommend a round brush for this as it's more detailed. You could use something like a large detail brush, though I don't know the exact sizes, so just use your judgment and think if it's the right colour. So we want to get a bit on a brush, tap off the excess a bit. You of course thin your paint slightly more than you would on a base coat, but I'm just doing this on the same day I did the base coat one and it's still wet on my wet palette, so yeah, that's one of the advantages of a wet palette. And we just want to apply it to all the areas on the model that are raised but not in the recesses. Apply it to everywhere except the recesses and it will create a sort of subtle graduation in tone. You may have seen me do this on some of my I alluded to doing this in some of my battle ready tutorials, my tabletop standard tutorials, and now I'm showing you how to do it. It's a very useful technique that after a wash really adds a new dynamic to the model, especially if you've just done a spot wash. If you've done a spot wash, I would just recommend layering with a new colour rather than resetting the base coat. But if you've done a full all over wash, which I have, you can just put the original tone back on. So, trying very hard to keep this central. It's quite hard because I need to see where it is. So there we are. Didn't manage to ignore the fact I didn't put the wash in the back. I'll do that later, but I'm mainly focusing on the back of the cloak. So yep, I'll let this dry and I'll come back to show you how to layer. As the water content, due to it being on my wet palette, is quite high in this paint, it is dried quite quickly. It's literally been a couple of minutes and it's dry enough certainly to work with. So I'm going to take another colour, another red. I'm going to take Vallejo's model colour Dark Vermilion. It's a good red colour, and this is basically almost a tutorial on how to paint red, but yeah. Take Dark Vermilion. This is red on cloaks. It looks really nice if done properly. So I take Dark Vermilion. I'm going to go a size down. I'm going to go to size 3 Boldmere, which is 2 sizes down, but they don't do a size 4, or I didn't get a size 4. So it's quite a small, thin brush. And I'm just going to take my paint. It's on my wet palette, so it's slightly thinned, and I'm just going to apply it to everywhere where I did the red, but leaving a little bit of the base colour showing again, showing through. Looks really bright on camera, but it is quite bright. Sorry about that scratching, that was me bashing my microphone against my camera. So, yep, it's a very easy and simple technique to use. Just painting areas where we put the red, where we put the base coat, but leaving some of it showing at the edges toward the recesses. You can continue building this up with as many layers of colour as you like, but in another video I'll be showing you how to highlight, which is a very similar technique. It's sort of what you end up doing if you layer for long enough. But if highlighting is done correctly, then it can be really effective. So I'll see you for the tips. So as you've seen, this is a very effective technique to get several layers of colour and some graduation. Things to remember are, if you're resetting a base colour, don't put it in the recesses, avoid the recesses. If you're layering, leave a small amount of the base coat or previous layer showing through, just to give a bit of slight graduation. Remember to thin your paint slightly, or if you're using a wet palette you don't need to worry about that so much, and for me dark vermilion was quite runny anyway, so yeah, it's a very useful paint. In future video I will be showing you how to highlight, so if you don't want to miss it, subscribe to Rebel Rogue, leave a like if you like this video, share it with someone if you think they'll enjoy it or may learn something from it, and if you feel like leaving a comment, leave a comment. I read them all. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next video.